Let's talk about Intel's upcoming Nova Lake processors and why they might finally bring the big performance jump so many people have been waiting for. If we look back at the Core Ultra 200 series, it didn't really meet expectations, especially for gamers. In fact, in most gaming benchmarks, the Core Ultra 200 series ended up being about 5% slower than the previous generation. That was a letdown for anyone who was hoping for a clear upgrade in gaming performance. But now, everyone's attention has shifted to Nova Lake. This is Intel's next big CPU family, expected to launch next year for both desktops and laptops. And this time, early leaks and rumors suggest that Intel is aiming higher, much higher. A slide that recently leaked on X, the platform we all know as Twitter, shows that Intel is targeting at least a 10% improvement in single-threaded performance. And when we look at the slide closely, it actually mentions a 1.1 times gain in single-threaded performance and a 1.6 times gain in multi-threaded performance. To put that in simpler terms, everyday tasks that rely on just one core, like many games, should run a bit faster. And jobs that use lots of cores at the same time, like video editing, 3D rendering, or heavy multitasking, could see much bigger improvements. Now, one thing to be aware of is that the slide doesn't actually tell us which chip these numbers apply to. It could be a laptop chip, a mid-range desktop chip, or even a chip that isn't part of the flagship lineup. So while these numbers are definitely exciting, we should remember that nothing is confirmed yet. We'll need to wait for Intel's official announcements and real-world benchmarks before we can be sure. What makes this even more interesting is that, this time around, Intel seems to be focusing on gaming performance again. In fact, the leaked slide even mentions that Intel is aiming for leadership in gaming performance. That's important because with the previous generation Arrow Lake, Intel didn't really highlight gaming as a key focus during the launch. But now, it looks like they want to not just compete with, but possibly outperform AMD's Ryzen 9000X 3D series. And that would be a big deal. Right now, AMD's Ryzen X 3D processors are known for their amazing gaming performance, thanks in large part to their extra cache that helps deliver better frame rates in many games. If Intel can really match or beat that level of performance with Nova Lake, it would mark a huge shift in the battle between Intel and AMD. As for what we actually know about Nova Lake specifications, well, the truth is, not much has been officially revealed by Intel. Everything we've seen so far comes from leaks and rumors. But according to some of these leaks, the top-of-the-line Nova Lake chip, which could end up being called the Core Ultra 300K, might come with up to 52 cores. That would be a huge jump. The leaked details suggest that this could include 16 performance cores, which are designed for tasks that need raw speed and power, like gaming or demanding apps. Then there would be 32 efficiency cores, which help with background tasks and allow your system to handle lots of things at once without using too much power. On top of that, there could be 4 new low-power cores, which are something we haven't seen before from Intel. These low-power cores would likely be focused on light tasks that don't need much energy, maybe to help with battery life on laptops or to reduce power use when your PC isn't working hard. But before you start planning an upgrade, there's something else you should know. The leaks also suggest that Nova Lake will use new socket types. For desktop, it's expected to be LGA 1954, and for mobile chips, it might be BGA 2540. What this means is that Nova Lake processors won't work with today's motherboards. So if you're thinking of upgrading to Nova Lake down the line, you'll almost certainly need a new motherboard to go with it. That could make upgrading more expensive, but it's also normal when there's a big jump in architecture like this. In terms of timing, we shouldn't expect Nova Lake anytime soon. Right now, it looks like Intel is aiming for a 2026 launch. Before that, we're likely to see a refresh of the current Arrow Lake series. But from what we've heard, that refresh might only bring a few new models, probably just some updated K-series chips for desktops, rather than a full new lineup. In the end, Nova Lake is shaping up to be one of Intel's most ambitious projects in years. If the leaks turn out to be true, we could see big improvements in both single-core and multi-core performance. We could also see Intel take the lead in gaming, possibly beating AMD's Ryzen X 3D chips at their own game. And with those massive core counts, Nova Lake could be a powerhouse for creators and anyone who needs serious multitasking performance. But for now, it's all based on leaks and early info. We'll need to wait for official details and real-world tests to see if Nova Lake can really deliver on the hype. Let me know in the comments, are you excited for Nova Lake? Do you think Intel can finally take the crown from AMD in gaming? Or are you planning to stick with what you have? I'd love to hear what you think.